For far too long in our profession, we didn't understand how trauma affected individuals and therefore, in many instances, re-victimized.
And if an officer doesn't understand it's a trauma response, then there could be a tendency to discredit the information that is able to be shared in that moment.
A lot of times the details that they gave in the interview were not chronological, so our detectives were walking away from these interviews saying, this person is not telling the truth.
When a person is threatened, that's really the understanding that there's danger. What happens is our instinctual pieces actually come into play. But trauma is the actual aftermath. Trauma is what happens in our interpretation.
Understanding trauma helps us better serve the often traumatized individuals we work with every day. Without knowledge of how trauma affects the brain, it can be very hard to understand a traumatized person's counterintuitive behaviors.
There's a tiger in your house, and you don't see that because your brain is trying to keep you safe and it's working against you.
Now that we understand how trauma impacts memory, it helps us take a better approach to every little thing we do as it pertains to interacting with victims and witnesses.
A trauma-informed framework provides the shift that allows us to effectively recognize and respond to trauma. Without it, a first responder can unwittingly become the first link in a long chain of re-traumatizing individuals, processes, and events that victims often find themselves navigating.
And this is not, the policing of the, 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s. It's changing, and it needs to change. For any police department out there that doesn't see the need for reform, then you're just not paying attention.